Chip's list. Let me make sure I get the vibe straight on this. But I'm chilling, you know the vibes. What's up, Srike? Glad to have you back. I'm kind of consistent with the streams lately, y'all. I hope y'all respect the grind. So where were we? Where are we, Chip? Do y'all remember where we was with Chip? Okay, boom. I believe, okay, we'd passed Darker Than Black. We'd passed Eden of the East and Erased. I remember speaking specifically on those. Helsing, I think I might have also mentioned. I believe we just did Keijo. Streams are great. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Because I remember I showed the clip of Keijo, and that got a flag on my stream, and then Noob said something about the audio, and then I checked it, and that's when I realized the audio was only in the left ear, and I was very fucking sad after that, and then I ended the stream. But I kept it up anyways. I said fuck it. That wouldn't be the first video where I made that fucking fatal error. But tonight the audio is good. I do hope. Can everybody confirm that this is like mono and not stereo only in your left ear? Because that was fucking awful. Doofy, if you're looking for copyright-free music, Logic made some beats for his fans. I'm usually pretty good at getting away from copyright, like even getting claimed, because I have the background music so low. And plus, I think the Lo-Fi Girl, like the videos from her channel, those songs are entirely like free to use now. But thank you for bringing that to my attention. I mean, I haven't actually listened to like any of those free beats that you mentioned, so I don't know what the sounds like. But I do like the vibe of the head, or just the lo-fi shit. But let us return to Chip's list. There's just gonna be a lot of shit I'm gonna be like, I have no idea, and that's just the vibe. And I'm glad the audio is good. So let us continue. So we have more of this Gottery Schnaz skipping, because obviously I haven't seen it. So what's this? Kyoso Giga. That looks kind of cool. I don't know what this is though. It's Kyoto, and yet it is not. A microcosm of peculiar origins, mirror Kyoto. Already kind of giving me like The World Ends With You vibes for whatever reason. Okay, good Chip, Synthil, and Reren have kind of acknowledged it here. It's only one episode. Is it based off something? Oh, it's just a single episode OVA. Interesting. Would you recommend this at all, Chip? Is there something more I need to know about this? Or is it just kind of you hop into this OVA, and then there's the sequel, and then there's... Oh, there's a TV series. Do you need to watch this first? I would assume, right? But it says other, which to me doesn't indicate that this is actually like the basis or like the first thing to watch. I only mention all this because like I think visually it looks very interesting. Like that's the kind of shit I like. And is it by Toei? Yeah, Toei. Kind of cool actually. I haven't seen it, but I've heard good things about it. I'm gonna like I'm gonna check out that OVA. I'm gonna add. I don't normally use my planning to watch function because I just prefer to just watch something. You know what I mean? Except for things I plan on, like I can concretely say I will watch once they're released or once I have watched everything else before it. This is something I'm actually like super interested in watching, so I'm gonna add that to the list. Actually, so thank you for that, Chip. Little Witch Academy, whatever. Log Horizon 2. You already had Log Horizon 1 on here, right? I only watched like half of that. I did not like Log Horizon. I did hear that it does pick up a little bit after the point that I left off, just in terms of like its subtle world building and like at least the payoff of it. And maybe that's true, but like I can't tell you how much I just like naturally cringe and recoil to the idea of like fantasy isekai that use all this video game reference. I just find that shit so unbearably cringy. And even if Log Horizon is a little more tame with that stuff, or it was a little earlier on in that kind of phase, it's still so difficult for me to watch. Bro, that's a fact. I put stuff I'm planning to watch, but I'm a moody bastard whenever I watch whatever I feel like, not restricting myself to that list. Yeah, I totally get that. I do not like just restricting myself to some list. I like to just randomly find something and then do it on a list or on a whim. Have you watched Paranoia Agent? Yeah, I have. I mean, it was interesting, but I think people overrate it a lot, at least for me. You dropped Log Horizon 2? Yeah, that's understandable. How does... I mean, Chip gave it a 7 here, but how does it compare to the first season? Snow, I reckon you've probably seen this, right? I'm only guessing because of how much you've seen, but I can't say for sure if that's a good enough reason to say that. That you have watched it. Yeah, you have. 8. I mean, that's respectable. Chip gave it a 7. Blindfold, you gave it a 5. You know, if that's fair, I guess. I liked it quite a bit. Okay, that's cool. Love Hina. This is like something that I am presently quite interested in watching because I do own the first volume over there. Jake the Pog has been speaking a bit about it lately to me. It just looks like a fun kind of rom-com that I'm actually kind of interested in watching, which is strange because I don't normally have the interest in watching a rom-com, but is there a definitive way to go about watching Love Hina or consuming it? Like, is it more advisable to read the manga? Is there like another adaptation? I don't know. I mean, they delve deeper in the game setting and use it to its advantage, and it doesn't really feel samey like other series tend to do. I can respect that, but again, I think just like conceptually, I am so put off by the concept that I'm not even interested in entertaining it. I'm ashamed as a fan of this genre. I haven't seen Love Hina. That's very interesting, actually. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to get on that eventually. It's a fun series. I just read the manga though. You would just read the manga, or like what? As in, you would rather recommend the manga than watch the anime, or? Because how long's the manga? I think it's. Wait, I just exited out of it, but let me just check it out. I mean, 14 volumes is pretty like short, so. Miss Kobayashi's, I also gave that a 7. I think it's a pretty fun series. You hated isekai? Yeah. Generally, I do too. Well, I hate like the kind of fantasy isekai that heavily leans on, you know, like video game references and the such. Because, you know, in the most broad sense, isekai just means like getting transported to a foreign world. And by that metric, that's such a broad definition that it applies to a lot more than you think. That's why I try to like narrow it down and say like specifically I dislike the kind of fantasy isekai with the video game references. Because I'd even be open to some fantasy isekai. Like I think I would have eventually probably give ReZero a shot because that seems to be you know, slightly different. I could be wrong though. I would just prefer reading the manga because you can pace better. It's really up to you. Yeah, absolutely. If there's an option, I would probably normally like to go for the manga because again, I like to be more in control of the pacing. Kind of why I don't like Greed Island arc that much. Honestly, do you want me to be 100% honest? Likewise, I actually think that concept's kind of meh. But I also just think that like, despite it has a serious approach. Like Greed Island has a rather serious execution and takes the concept seriously, and I think it's well executed all around. I just don't like the concept that much, and that holds it back generally. They did that shit in Yu-Gi-Oh, but Yu-Gi-Oh's better. Yu-Gi-Oh better than Hunter x Hunter. Remember that, kids. I didn't know you watched Snafu. Chip's not even here. Why the fuck am I doing his list? Or maybe he's listening. Wild. 2 isekai I recommend are ReZero and Konosuba. That's like the 2 isekai everybody recommends, though. Konosuba doesn't look good to me, to be honest. Like, just straight up, it looks like something I would not like. Yeah, hit me up like Tupac. I'm kind of inclined. Chip, I'm going to give you 5 minutes to reply. If you don't reply, I'm just going to go to Snow's list. I think it's a good arc, but someone who hates that genre, it wasn't for me. That's fair, yeah. I mean, I found it pretty fun. That's the arc that I got back into when I got back into Hunter x Hunter. And there wasn't anything I actively disliked, and there were aspects I actually did like, but again, the concept itself I do not like. It's the execution that saved it. Konosuba is the only isekai I've seen that is genuinely great, interesting, because it looks fucking like dog shit to me, I'm not gonna lie to you. Mysterious Girlfriend X. Can you rate mine? Maybe eventually. I did promise Snow a trillion years ago that I'd do his. And if J-Chip's not here, I'm just going to move from this list to the next. Something to watch now and then here and there. I really like Now and Then Here and There. Chip actually recommended it to me. Because I'm just a sucker for like the 90s anime aesthetic. Like that shit just draws me in. I mean, you know, makes use of a lot of generic kind of action tropes at the time. Which can make it difficult for somebody to get into. But if you can kind of appreciate its simple execution of those things, I think it's something worth investing your time into for sure. J-Chip, okay, you made it back, so I'm not kicking you out, and I'm going to continue through your list, but I gotta just double down to make sure. Yeah, so this is 1999. I just had to make sure I got the date right on that. You really enjoyed the dodgeball game? That was a lot of fun. I agree, the dodgeball game was fun, but I just think it's so fucking stupid that the whole arc was kind of built up to a dodgeball game. I don't know, that just rubbed me the wrong way. Dude, if the isekai hater actually likes an isekai, wow. But again, I was saying earlier, I very much specifically say that I hate the kind of fantasy isekai with heavy video game references. That's what I particularly don't like. I am open to some isekai. Well, isekai is too broad, so I would be open to some fantasy isekai. I'll say that. If it was more of a training arc, yeah, taking in like Greed Island's much more enjoyable. Also, welcome back, Leo shit. I'm sorry, I forget your name already. I forget Legochi. My bad, bro. If you want a highly entertaining isekai that is short, try Manjai Tachi ga Isekai Kakuri. Bro, give me the English name, dog. I ain't Japanese. I can't read that shit. Noragami at a 7. I think that's a pretty like accurate score. I do need to get around to like watching the second season. I think I bought 4 volumes. Well, 5 volumes. I bought the side stories as well. Bought 5 volumes of Noragami like after having watched the first season way back when. Because I did enjoy it like quite a bit actually when I first watched it, but like it's one of those series that it just gets worse with time in your mind. Like the more I reflect on Origami, like cool, it had some cool openings and like I don't know, it was a pretty fun watch. Like I don't have any explicit problems with it right now that I could raise against it, but like it just didn't feel like it was actualizing everything it could have done. The Problem Children are coming from another world. I have actually watched that, and I will say that I found that to be rather enjoyable. At the time, I fucking loved it. But much like Noragami, the longer away it is in my memory, the less I think about it, like in a positive light. Then we got a bunch of One Piece shit. Just, you know me. Watched like no One Piece, so I can't comment on any of this. I did watch One Piece, what is it called? Not Greed Island, fucking Stronghold? Strongworld? I did watch that movie with some friends, and that was pretty okay. It was fun. I watched it with friends, right? So that elevated the experience for me, but you know the vibes. I don't like Problem Children coming from another world. You didn't? That's fair, I guess. Doofy, I'm not a fan of the consensus, so I will go out of my way to find shit that goes against the views. So I've deep dived into Isekai. You look a little older. I look a little sexier, don't you think? It looks I look even better having finessed this energy drink from my best friend tonight. Do you watch or read To Your Eternity? I am kind of currently watching it. I'm like a few weeks behind though on episodes. It's whatever. And Josh, you know, what are the fruits of your labor of the deep dive into isekai? What are the good isekai, my friend? Do tell. One Piece Stampede is a pretty decent movie. I'll probably never watch a One Piece movie again as long as I live. Lemon Mania Rain. Escaflowne. Oh, I've heard you talk about Escaflowne before. One Piece bit. Okay, there's a lot of shit going on in the chat right now, y'all. I have 17 concurrent viewers. I didn't realize I was the world's most famous person. I gotta put on quite the show for you guys then. I think To Your Eternity has the best first episode I've ever seen. Honestly, I was resistant to people who made such strong claims about To Your Eternity, but I will say that it was a pretty fucking strong first episode. If not the best, one of the best. It just sucks that like it fucking, in my opinion, falls off pretty hard for a few episodes afterwards. I do think it's necessary, as I've said before. I think that To Your Eternity, by design, has to focus on its side characters so that the reader and the viewer can build a relationship to them so that it's meaningful when, you know, something happens to them and Fushi takes over their body or whatever. And so it's also meaningful when Fushi will transform into them because the reader has something to call upon when he does so. And so that transformation is now meaningful. But a lot of that buildup is just boring to me. It is paid off, I think, in like that sad episode when, spoiler in episode 4 or 5, I don't know, it's still pretty new. I probably shouldn't spoil it, but a main character dies. Very sad. One of the saddest episodes I've seen probably ever, so quite the payoff. Unfortunately, there's like 3 payoffs so far out of like 14 episodes. So that just doesn't cut it for me. I really tried to make you walk ahead of me because I knew one of us was buying the 2 for 5 and I committed to your peer pressure again. Yeah, absolutely. Like I saw 2 for 5 and first things first, I said, "Oh, please, sir, up in front of me. You pay first. I'll be the kind friend and let you go in front of me." And then bro rung us up and he's like, "1 can's gonna be like fucking $4.90," and you're like, "It's 2 for 5 though." And he's like, "Yeah." I just gave you the look, bro, and I got the second van for free. You should probably check out my mail. It's pretty short. I'll do that eventually. I have been working on chips now for a hot minute, and I intend to like get fucking finished this tonight. That's why I started a little earlier. Normally I'm starting at like 3 a.m. Tonight it's like 12, so I can actually probably finish this list tonight. You should probably check out my mail. One of my favorite isekai, Death March Parallel World Rhapsody. Recreators is a great reverse isekai. Yeah, most of these names mean nothing to me, so I can't actually comment on them. But I do have the VOD for this, so I might go back and explore some of them. There's only around 8 episodes, right? 8 episodes. Now you're fucking speaking my language, bro. The shorter, the better. Like, bro, if you can throw a good 8-episode anime at me, you hit me up, because I'll fucking watch that shit. My favorite first chapter and episode. I love the series. Probably my favorite ongoing right now. Death March is one I dislike. Okay, interesting. I would say Bookworm is great isekai. Boy and Beast. Yeah. What's the thing? I hate when people just say isekai, because I think that's such a loose term that could easily be applied to so many things. That's why I like to like define these kind of tags with, you know, some kind of subgenre. That's why I don't just say shonen. I say battle shonen or drama shonen. I don't really like Devil's a Part-Timer that much, to be honest. Fully Coolly I have seen 6 episodes. Great. After Samurai I've also seen, pretty great, especially for that time length. Much better than Yasuke. I didn't really like Yasuke as much as I was hoping I would. Demon Lord Retry is fine. Y'all just throwing names at me. This is meaningless to me, bro. Even though I specifically asked you for names, like the Doofy. Also, welcome, noob. Don't worry, Doofy. Don't touch Isekai. You're a nice, pure child. Don't let people ruin you. I've also seen Golden Boy. It's fun, actually, for what it's worth. But, hate Afro Samurai, but I respect it for doing short. Why do you hate Afro Boy? That's a strong fucking word, bro. Hitman Reborn, did you like it? Spirited Away is a solid isekai. Right, exactly. Like, it totally is an isekai, right? And it's like, it's by no means what people mean when they say isekai. They mean like Sword Art Online, Live Horizon, all that shit. Just discovered how to play it myself. Feels so good. I'm glad, you know. Hope you're not doing it to the stream though. You dislike it, my bad. Fair. Hitman Reborn, I only read like, I don't know, 5-6 volumes of the manga, and that's a part of the Everyday arc, which is the most dogshit way to open up a fucking manga. Imagine literally like the first 8 volumes of your manga is just like a slice, like the first 8 volumes of your battle shonen is like slice of life fucking comedy shit with like minor action scenes with no overarching build up. Like, it's fucking awful. What a terrible way to start the show. That's why that show never like took off, or that manga didn't take off the way it should have. Thank you for subbing. Paprika might be an isekai, maybe. Yeah, the arc is bad, but after that it's good. I imagine after that it's probably amazing, but yeah, Bleach is definitely an isekai. Ichigo goes to the Soul Society. Should do ranking videos of anime from different studios. That's a good idea, actually. I might actually do that. Thank you. That's actually a great idea. I'll probably do that. If I tried Berserk, I've read like 1 volume and I didn't really like it. I've been meaning to read more, but there's a trillion things on my shelf that I've already invested money in that I should read first, I suppose. Anyways, back to reviewing Chip's list. Urin High School Host Club, folks. How do we feel about this? A 7, I think, is a very reasonable score. I know I just criticized somebody in chat for using hate, because that's a strong word. I think I equally throw around love, which is an equally as strong word. My bad. Because like, I'll be like, oh, I love this series, and then I'll give it a 7. But listen, this is the thing. It's all about context, people. When we're talking about a show that is generally received in a certain light, so for instance, if we're talking about, I don't know, Urin High School, actually, let's say we're talking about Urin. That's a kind of rom-com shoujo. That's very unlike me. If anybody knows me, I don't really like rom-com shoujos. I don't really like rom-coms that much. So, given that kind of context, when I say I love something that is a rom-com shoujo, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm talking 9 or 10 here. I'm talking relative to other rom-com shoujos, and I think, yeah, I do love it. But my love within that community is, you know, like a 7, maybe an 8. Real life, I'd say, is like an 8. That's something I'd probably more adequately say love to. Urin, yeah, little less. I still really enjoyed it, I'll say that, I guess. You'd love to start the anime? Yeah, you should. It's super fun. I don't know. Has a fucking banger of an opening and ending. English is a must with Urin, by the way. English dub. No other way to do it. It's important to pay attention to context. I do the same thing. Well, exactly. And this is the other thing. When I talk about Hunter x Hunter, okay, I know this triggers a lot of people, and I say I hate something about Hunter x Hunter. It's hate within the context of fucking like battle shonen, my absolute all-time favorite genre. So even like my most hated battle shonen, I think, aren't that low. Maybe like a 6, which is, in my opinion, a 6 is still high. That's still over a 5. That's over the halfway mark still. That's in the top like 40%. That's pretty high. But when I say I hate Hunter x Hunter, it's all about the context, people. I'm saying that in like context of like, I don't know, a particular issue, which if you zoom out a bit, you realize it's just me being nitpicky because fuck, I gave Hunter x Hunter an 8. It is a fantastic series, but again, context, people. Shame to say you haven't seen Uber. That's a damn shame. Definitely give it a shot if you want to kind of get a taste for that early kind of rom-com shoujo scene. Well, this is day one of begging you to read Peak Fiction. Berserk's way too good not to be read immediately. I honestly, the more people push something on me, the more resistant I am to reading it. So that is not the right approach. I think I've already told you, but I like these guy like Shield Hero, Bofuri, both of these nuts, ReZero. The rest are bearable or trash. Yeah, you have mentioned that to me before. It's important to pay attention to combat. I'll probably never watch Uren. Yeah, understandable. You prefer Uren over Baishon and Tante? Yeah, I agree. I didn't really like Pretty Boy Detective Club. I watched a few episodes and dropped it. Like, it was prettier, but like, I don't know, the characters just felt a little shallow to me. It really did feel like a pale imitation of Uren, but with much higher production quality. Since you love Naruto, do you avoid the obvious errors that the show makes when you rate it due to the impact it has on you? When I rate anything, I take into consideration everything that would make me think about that anime. When I rate Naruto 10, I'm not just thinking about the different conventional merits it has. I'm not just thinking about, you know, its choreography and its animation or its art style, its characters and its narrative. That is one massive element of my rating things, but I also draw upon psychological elements that would make me look at an anime a certain way. So nostalgia, huge thing for me. My overall, I guess, and I'm so hesitant to frame it this way because I almost accidentally broke up the discussion to writing and enjoyment, which I think is absolute, like, fucking... I totally reject that distinction because what we enjoy is normally the recognition of some pattern or archetype, and we just don't realize it. And when we do according to writing, it's normally those archetypes and patterns we enjoy. So there is no hard distinction between that. But I will say when I rank anime, I take into consideration different psychological things, such as if I've read it during the right time, or if I have nostalgia towards it, or if it has some kind of significant value to me outside of just watching anime and manga. My thing with Naruto is that this wasn't just an anime I sat in my room and watched by myself. This was a fucking phenomena for me and my friends. Like, from grade 5 to right now, I've had massive discussions with people in my life about Naruto, and it's appeared in every facet of my life. In the classroom, I'm sitting next to Syrup, we're arguing about Naruto. In grade 5, in grade 8, you know, we're still fucking arguing about Naruto. You know, is Tobi Obito or Madara? Who knows? In grade fucking like 11, we're drunk as fuck on a party, a group of like 10 of us screaming at each other. Who would win, Zabuza or Suigetsu? My thing is, like, this was such a massive community that was so much more meaningful than any other anime or manga could ever possibly be. This has impacted every aspect of my life, and for that reason, Naruto's a 10, because it transcended a simple anime or manga. It became like an entity that had a massive influence on my life. And I very much look at any anime that can kind of have that same feeling, I think will be reflected in my scores. So that's kind of my speech on Naruto and why I rank it so high. According to AniList, my most highly rated genre is thriller and psychological. Interesting. I think mine are action and thriller for anime, but for manga it's drama. You respect that? My theory on 10 is that the highs are so great that they overwhelm the errors, and that there might be a moment that you can point to that sets it apart. That's a great way to put that, Josh, and I respect that. Absolutely. I think that's a good way of putting it. And that's another like thing too, right? Like, there's two kind of philosophies when we come to evaluating anime. Like, we could conceivably just evaluate, like, make a sum total of the pros and cons of the series, weigh it all out, and you know, make some judgment. Or we can really just look at how good the fucking highs were and see if that's enough to compensate for a kind of rough approximation of the lows. In the case of Naruto, absolutely. Any errors you could point to in Naruto, well, let's put it this way. Any plot hole you think you can find in Naruto, there are 5 Naruto fans with 2 different theories each as to why that's not a plot hole. I know some people will say that they're ass-pulling, some people will say that they're reading too much into it. I don't think those are valid claims given my kind of interpretive framework when it comes to anime and manga. But that just goes to show like the willingness of this community to kind of make things work, and that there is at least enough material there to put something together. Whether or not you are okay with that or not is another question, I guess. We'd have to look at a case by case basis whether or not you think some of these claims are justified. But for me, the highs were so incredibly high that, you know, if Naruto versus Sasuke, that final fight was the only fight we got in the war arc, I think I'd still probably forgive how bad it was. And I don't actually think the war arc was that bad. I'm going to make a video on that eventually. But by the way, I think Suigetsu can win with prep, but that's only Battlefield prep. I think Zabuza, since he's more experienced, an amazing killer. I think Suigetsu would win only because he's fucking made out of water and is borderline like immortal, right? Like, have they worked out how Suigetsu could be like defeated? I don't know. You is a 10 for me, even though the ending of the final arc, the manga was very rushed and disappointing. The impact and amount of joy and connection to its characters completely outweigh the negatives. Yeah, exactly. Especially like anime or manga that present such a likable or relatable character. I think if it can just totally like engage you, regardless of how well written you think it is, there is still some kind of connection between you and it, and I think we can kind of appreciate it, regardless of any errors you might conceive of. Now, Suigetsu wins because hydration technique's low-key overpowered. That's what I'm thinking too, right? Because Suigetsu is holding Killer B, who's top tier. Yeah, respect, yeah. It's OP, but Zabuza has a reputation, and he did well against Kakashi, whereas I think Suigetsu gets obliterated by Kakashi. Well, that's the thing. I think that in terms of pure technique, Zabuza, like, completely face fucks Suigetsu, but, like, it's just, like, bros made out of water. How do we counter that? Like, I just simply do not know if there's actually, like, a concrete way we could kill, like, Suigetsu. I feel like bad for Kishimoto because how rushed the writing Naruto. It must have been so hard. Yeah, I could totally see that. Kishimoto had it rough, bro. Yu Hakusho is my favorite anime ever in Seiji, and honestly, I do like the final arc, and the last episode was nice. Oh, I love the ending in the end. Okay, but I can't keep reading all this, guys. You're a little overwhelming, and I love it, but yeah, you guys are kind of having your own combos now, so I can't keep up. Also, who has the blade? I think for this, we would just assume that they both have the blade. I know, obviously, that'd be a continuity error, but just for the sake of having them both at their peak. Yes, technically Zabuza is way more skilled than Suigetsu, has hacks. Yeah, exactly. That's what my thought on the project. Suigetsu's like a fruit user. I'm still trying to find all the volumes of the manga. I got the first 6. Aren't they reprinting the Yu Hakusho manga? Did somebody tell me that? Yu Yu's great series. Younger Toguro is one of my favorite anime antagonists. Yeah, I love that the younger Toguro was notable for you. A lot of people don't love him too much. All right. Let's just move through this list a little more. I still need to watch Paprika, but that's one that I think I'm going to love. My thing is, like, I'm not a moviegoer generally, and so I'm normally not drawn to anime movies for that reason, but I have, you know, within the last 6 months, I started going through a bunch of, like, the Ghibli films, and I think now I'm incentivized to start going through, like, other big anime films, so I'm thinking, you know, I gotta watch Perfect Blue, that's number 1. Paprika's another big one for me. I'm sorry, none of your characters are being Mugi from K-On! She's overpowered and can probably beat Goku. Yeah, but if Goku eats her eyebrows, it's over for her. Pokemon Origins at a 7, I respect heavily because that was a fucking great adaptation of Pokemon. I wish we got more like red and blue or green, I guess, in anime as opposed to like Satoshi or Ash. I don't know. I don't like Ash that much, but Red's a pretty cool guy. Perfect Blue's fantastic, absolutely. Sailor Moon claps 10 out of 10 times. I liked Sailor Moon. To me, technique wins every time unless you're the MC like Neji versus Naruto. Yeah, but like if it's a fight to the death and you can't kill Suigetsu, he just wins like by that metric, right? Chapter Black for you, yeah. I think for a lot of people, there's a back and forth between Chapter Black and Dark Tournament, which I respect. Chapter Black is always my favorite. DT's still amazing, yeah. Do I love Paprika? It gives me so much food for thought, and it's like my kind of anime. Plus, the visual storytelling was in a league of its own. I like that. Who's the director for Paprika? Is it Satoshi Kon? No, right? No, it's... Oh, it was Satoshi Kon was the director. Very good. Yeah, Kon's kind of crazy. I won't lie to you. Destiny Deoxys is my favorite Pokemon movie for those who don't know. So, some good shit right here. I think that has largely to do with the fact that Deoxys is like one of my favorite Pokemon. And this was, I think, probably like one of my most anticipated Pokemon movies. I actually have a VHS tape that I recorded on TV when this debuted on air in English. It was awesome. Perfect Blues is Opus. Yeah, so I've heard. Cone Solos. Everything Satoshi Kon made was amazing. Not everything. Have you ever read Tropic of the Sea? Because that's not a fucking great manga, and he did that. Though Opus, that was a fucking awesome manga. That was a fucking great manga. Yu Hakusho has a better main cast than Hunter x Hunter. That's not a hot take. Most people kind of agree with that, actually. Well, not most people, but like, although most people, I think, would agree Hunter x Hunter is better than Yu Yu Hakusho, I still think a lot of those people are willing to say that the Yu Yu cast, main cast now, is stronger than the HH main cast. But that's just a guess. I don't have numbers, obviously, to back this up. Madoka Magica a 7. Respectable. Ramen Fighter Miki. I remember when you did a review for that, actually. Good shit. Yakuza movie was dope. I remember when I was a kid, I would watch Yakuza for Quays AMV with Kanye Stronger. That sounds fire, dude. I still like the main cast in Hunter x Hunter, but I just think that the main characters in Yu Yu Hakusho better. I would agree with that. And I don't even like super love a lot of the main cast in Hunter x Hunter, but I've talked about this so many times. Like, my TikTok career is made off of me downplaying Hunter x Hunter, so I don't want to have to bring any more Hunter x Hunter into my life than I have to. Ramna 1/2 I really want to watch. I'm not gonna lie to you, but like 161 episodes is a little intimidating for me right now, given that like I'm probably moving in like 8 weeks, and after that, honestly, I would not be surprised if I just have no time for anime and manga because of how busy I'm gonna be, which is a sad thought, but you know, I'm ignoring it for now so I can make the best out of this whole situation. Rurouni Kenshin out of 7. I never even finished it just because I could not bear the fucking filler ending, or the filler final arc, which is I'm not huge on. And I also don't like that they insert extra filler into the kind of first third. That arc already to me feels a little disjointed. I don't think it benefits from that, though they do a great job with the Kyoto arc, and I love that. Can you read my AniList right now? Fuck off, because I already did yours. Plus Deoxys, the DNA Pokemon, is dope as fuck. Exactly. I think that's such a badass concept. You really want to read the Kenshin manga? I highly would suggest. Yeah, the Jinchu arc is possibly my favorite manga arc outside of my obvious, love for Naruto. I'd wonder if the Jinchu arc would actually beat out like the Aranka arc for me, because I go crazy for Bleach. I'm so into Bleach these days. But I think the Jinchu arc might even beat out like my favorite Bleach arcs. I like Hunter x Hunter more mainly because it was my first anime watch and I have so much nostalgia with it. Yeah, that's totally fair, man. I appreciate when people are honest about the role nostalgia plays in their evaluation, because for one, I don't think it makes them any lesser. Some people have this weird connotation that if you evaluate according to nostalgia, you're somehow lesser than evaluating according to, pure writing, which I think is actually not totally possible. I don't think you can just write according to writing or rank according to writing. That's a stupid idea. But yeah, just the openness to I also just appreciate. Ronka's my favorite Bleach arc, but the first half 1,000 Year Blood arc is the best of Bleach. I'm currently at that first half of 1,000 Year Blood arc. What chapter am I on? I don't remember. But it's fucking amazing. But it's just shy of the Aranka arc, I think, for me, and I think it's only going to go downhill from here, as most people point out. Shut the fuck up, noob. I know every time you say it, you're joking, but I have to look behind me anyways, just in case you're not. For the record, my cat's behind me, so she'd fuck up anyone. By the way, Battle Shonen are special to me, are the ones with a unique motive from the main character, with the exception being One Piece. Like Gio and I want to find my dad, Kenshin with the redemption. Yeah, Kenshin's character arc is fucking phenomenal, and if you want to get the full experience, you need to read the Jinchu arc, because that's when, I mean, honestly, Trust and Betrayal was really, it really displayed the start of, why he needs a redemption arc, and that's resolved in the end of the Jinchu arc, when ultimately his past comes back, and he's got to deal with that. I don't know, that's a fucking awful way to put the matter. I'm a little rusty, do forgive me. Trust and Betrayal's goated on a different level. Yeah, if you love Trust and Betrayal, you need to read the Jinchu arc, because that just fucking perfectly concludes all the character arcs that start in that little prologue. Right, so if you thought that was goated, bro, get on Jinchu arc right now. I just wanted you to look at your cat. You're welcome. She is cute. Hey, baby. You hot? Yeah, it's hot, isn't it? That's why I like Ichigo a lot. His protagonist mode is really realistic and relatable. I like Ichigo generally because, for me, he was one of the first battle shonen protagonists I saw that wasn't just like, you know, the goofy outcast that was like, you know, mischievous by day, somber by night, the Naruto types, you know what I mean? Felt like that was a lot of them. Ichigo I just found interesting because he, you know, his family life was more or less stable minus his mom missing. He was a little more mature already off the bat. And I don't know. It was more relatable in that regard. Play is the best Kenshin anime anything. Agreed. When Ichigo faced Palm Sizen, I actually got out of my seat and got hyped. I'm not gonna lie, yeah, there's a lot of moments in Bleach that made me squeal like a little girl. Hopefully we can get a really good Kenshin remake like Dororo. That'd be really nice. I'd love that. Ichigo's very mature for his age. I don't think so. Well, very mature. Not very mature. He's definitely mature for his age, though, I guess. I mean, how old is he? 16 or 17? At the beginning. Ichigo age. Oh, 15 pre-time skip. Okay, that's pretty mature then, I would say, for a 15-year-old. 17 post-time skip and 27 in the epilogue. Oh, damn, okay, I didn't realize that. I thought he was 17 from the get-go, but that's my bad. Yeah, 15. Just different from other anime high schoolers. Battle show ratings are never mature. Yeah, not often. Not often. But I mean, I think Yusuke is mature in his own way. What the fuck, he's 15? Yeah, isn't that crazy? Never mind then. Exactly, he had responsibility. And that's what changes a motherfucker. Ichigo's a better protagonist than a lot think. I think so as well, actually. People like to say Ichigo has no development, but I just think that's just straight up false. Sure, he doesn't really have to be the strongest Soul Reaper, but he's a teenager living in our reality. It's normal in Naruto for kids to be trained Shino. Yeah, exactly. I feel like he's so misunderstood because of his relatability. Absolutely. Yusuke is a thug. Thugs are mature, bro. What are you trying to say about thugs? Okay. Continuing on. Samurai Champloo. It's good. It's a 7 for me as well. Gotta say, some friends recommend this anime and so far it's pretty damn funny. Psycho Boys, okay, go off. Real life, what is... Oh, it's the ONA, my bad. Shaku no Shana. I remember when that came out, I was mildly interested in it because I remember seeing like the DVD promos and it looked badass, but I just never sent on it. Likewise with Shiki, if this is the one I'm thinking of. This is the horror anime, right? I actually own this on DVD. I bought this when the DVD came out. On Blu-ray actually, and I never fucking watched it. I don't know why. I think it's because I didn't have a Blu-ray player at the time, but I wanted to buy it because Walmart got it, and I wanted to support any anime Walmart got to encourage them to get more anime. Spice and Wolf, yeah, Squad Girl 2, Steins Gate stuff, Tales of Symphoria, Devil's a Part-Timer. What did I give Devil's a Part-Timer? What was my official score on it? Yeah, 5.6. That sounds about right. I wasn't fucking massive on it, to be honest. I liked it because at the time, I was working at McDonald's, so it was relatable in that sense. I'd come home from McDonald's, and I wasn't in this room. I was in the room across the hall from me. And, I don't know. It was cool, I guess, but... Got the words out of 7. I like that. Devil's Part-Timer.
You got mail.
Thank you for the mail. For the sub. What's your name? I just saw it on my phone. Induced phobia, yeah. Respect, bro. Isn't Code Geass overrated? Absolutely. You've seen Code Geass? Well, that's pretty cool. I'd absolutely pick that up if I saw it. Devil's Part-Timer sucks, yeah. Not fucking great. What, baby? What's up? You're so flat. My cat's quite playful. Also, yeah, fuck Chip. Team Doofy all the way. Garden of Words. I know we brought this up last time, but let's just look at like the general scores for it, because this seems to be a lot more controversial than I thought. Like, what's the average? Okay, 77, 76. What's the lad saying on this? We got a 6. We got a 7, a 7, a 5, a 6.5, a 7, a 4.5, a 3, and 8. So yeah, I guess it's averaging around a 7. The only thing holding Garden Words back for me is the fact that it's so short. Now I like that it's not overly ambitious. I like that it's simple. I think what it does, it executes well. I just think it would benefit from more. Noob, you're crazy with the 4 out of 5 though. I'm not gonna lie to you. Garden Words was made. Code Geass good. 4th favorite. Okay, rock on. Slayers. 7 Deadly Sins. Sorry, y'all. That must have been loud as fuck. The old mic stand given out every single day. I liked its length personally, but yeah, I can see that doofy. Yeah. I mean, I like things that are short generally because I have a fucking small attention span and I'm so pressed for time all the time. The world God only knows. God do be knowing it though. Is this the same anime I'm thinking of? No, it's not, clearly. The world God only knows. Is that by Sentai? Nope. Manglobe. I was way off with that one. I don't know why I thought that. Why do I know this name? Was this famous for something? Like, was there a meme about this? I mean, it definitely looks familiar, but I don't know. Can't believe I have to do this every single time. Okay. Violet Evergarden is 7. Vinland Saga is 7. I feel like that's probably slightly more on the hot side. I mean, these are definitely good scores, but Vinland seemed to receive a lot of praise. I think a 7 would be a little low for people. I think Snow's brought up some pretty good critiques of it. I'm just curious what you think, Chip, if you, I don't know, maybe it just didn't do it for you, I guess. Likewise with Violet Evergarden. I can kind of sympathize with the 7 for Violet Evergarden a little more, because I do think that it is the case where the highs don't totally outweigh the lows. Though the highs are fucking, like, undeniably, like, great. I want to see my username. Do you have any recs? It's Beck is human, right? I really like that, to be honest. It's just a popular anime genre, and it was held as a classic by some people. I disagree, those. The world God only knows fan. Okay. Beck is... I mean, you said it has to have Beck in the name, right? And either a reference to Joji or something else. What was the other thing you would bonus points for the having that recommend or that in the name, or something related to it? Bleach. Oh hell yeah. I don't know. Look up like the names of some Bankai and see if you can incorporate like Beck into that. Sen Beku. I don't know. Watamote. Manga's better, but still fun. I should read the manga. I thought this was actually an incredibly fun anime. Voice of the Distant Stars, whatever. By the way, Doofy, I gave Vinland 7 for the same reason as I stated. It gave a moment where I could forgive a bunch of shit. As I stated before, it gave me a moment where I could forgive a bunch of shit. Yeah, okay. That's fair. I'm just curious about Chip's reasoning on this one, because I never heard his before. Not that I expect every number to have a massive reasoning, especially if it's something that you've watched a while ago, but always curious to raise the question. Higurashi I recently finished, and I gave an 8. I thought it was great. I quite liked the narrative style in this one, just where it kind of bounces back and forth in the chronology, giving different perspectives where it's convenient for building up tension and resolving it. It's very fun. I am looking forward to actually probably watching more once I finish Erased and whatever Josh is going to recommend to me. Not you, Josh, but my Patreon Dark Josh. Witchblade, yeah, it's fun. I didn't realize actually until I did a little more research about 4 or 5 months ago that this was based off a comic. I didn't realize that Witchblade was a comic first. Wonder I get a 7. I still hope to get around to watching that just because I just want to get in on the hype. Saw McGuffin made a video on that today. Unfortunately, was not able to watch it because I hadn't watched Wonder Egg, but I do look forward to watching it when I watch Wonder Egg. Yona of the Dawn. Your line April. Your line April 7. Oh, same with your name. I mean, again, these are reasonable scores that I can easily conceptualize, but like I just personally have given them both much higher. 5E's I also gave a 7. Same with the original Yu-Gi-Oh. Wait, did you rate GX higher? You did? You gave GX an 8. I didn't realize GX was your favorite. Wonder Egg Special is bad. Yeah, I heard it just raises more questions than it answers, and uh, it doesn't really wrap anything up, which is kind of sucky. But Chip, I thought you liked the original Yu-Gi-Oh more than GX, so I'm kind of blown away right now. Let me just do a check on the stream. Maybe I should just adjust this camera a little more, center it a bit more. Season 2 will be fire, though. You're optimistic, and I love optimism. Come on now, y'all. That's slightly better, I suppose. My name is Doofy Doe. Okay, where were we? Thatch Bell out of 7, respectable. No One Be Like No Wonder Egg Special. Yeah, it does seem to be the case. 91 Days, pretty good. Yeah. I think I gave it like a high 5. We're about on par with that one. Angel Beats a 6? Oh, okay. AOT Season 2 a 6? Okay, go off. Bakano, better than Durarara? Really? Yeah, I'm not standing for that one, bro. I thought Durarara was much better than Bakano. I ain't gonna front on you. What else we got here? Blood Plus. That's another one, like, kind of mid-late 2000s, I do believe, that I always super wanted to get into. Yeah, 2005. Like, to me, that's just, like, peak anime in terms of production style. I think that's when Battle Shonen really started to get a good feeling of its footing. I know this isn't particularly a Battle Shonen, but, like, that is, I think, when a lot of the different character archetypes were starting to get not only established, but farther developed than their origins. So, I mean, if we just think about, I think a lot of character archetypes from like the 80s were perfected in Dragon Ball. Like Goku became a staple protagonist for a lot of people, likewise Vegeta being the kind of like rival to the protagonist. These became the archetypes of those, you know, those roles. Those then I think were then picked up and developed across the 90s and early 2000s, but I think by the time we get to, you know, the early 2000s, mid 2000s, they're kind of complexified a little more. I don't know, it's pretty abstract. I'm not gonna lie to you. I should probably have more concrete examples, but that's just my vague impression of this era, and that's why I love it so much. Production IG as well. I was actually a pretty big fan of Production IG for a while. They did do Even the East, which is one of my favorite anime of all time. But yeah, good shit. I do want to watch this eventually. Maybe I will. Do you need to watch this to watch Blood Sea? It says here other, so I do reckon it's probably just like an alternate universe or something, or an alternate timeline maybe, I don't know. And which is better? By the looks of it, Blood Plus is seemingly better received. Any insight on that, folks? Okay, I'm just gonna exit out those tabs. Last quarter of the anime special, which is bad, of Wonder Egg. Interesting. How do people generally receive the end of Wonder Egg, if you know what I mean? Is there a consensus on the ending besides the OVA, or you must prefer Blood Plus to Blood Sea? Okay, I'll keep that in mind then. Blood Plus is better? Yeah, okay. That seems to be the consensus. Defrag kind of fun. Death Billiards, Devil May Cry. Watch Blood Sea, then Blood Plus? Really? Is that the vibe for people? Doro at a 6. Is that the original one though? Yeah, it's the fucking 1969 one. Props to you for doing that, but Devilman Crybaby to 6. That seems to be fine, I guess. I think I gave it almost an 8. I think I gave it like a 7.8. I very deliberately don't give certain series an 8, but I give it as close to an 8 as I'm willing to give, if that makes sense. The end of episode 12 was weird, and the end of 13 was awful. Oh, damn. Bunch of GT here. Conqueror or Shambhala? You gave it a 6? I honestly put that pretty much on par with the original Full Metal at like an 8. Just because of how nicely this wraps up the original series. Except for the fact Maze Hughes is like a fucking Nazi or something in this movie. Weird shit. Weird shit for sure. High School of the Dead, yeah, that's about a 6. My Hero Academia, a 6, okay. Cool. Pokemon Forever. Yeah, a lot of these the Pokemon movies would just fall for me as well. Like outside the ones I have a strong nostalgia for, those would probably just be like fucking fours. I actually thought that Wonder Egg falls apart towards the ending. It looked very promising toward 10 to 11, but then you realize there was like one episode left to wrap it up. That's a tragedy. Phantom Requiem for the Phantom. I also always see this like being sold on like Right Stuff. Like it was always on sale. For the first time, I agree with you about Wonder Egg. Okay, damn, go off, y'all. Was our Vampire season 1? Yeah, that's a bit of a shit show. I will say, I do unironically enjoy the Rosario Vampire manga, and it is much better than the anime. I think it's gonna sound stupid because if you've only seen the anime, like the anime is just like fucking horny central, but the manga's actually not that bad. Haven't seen the OVA yet, but the series was fantastic. Fair, yeah. You love Phantom much better than Darker Than Black. Nah, y'all, you tripping? I can't actually say that I haven't watched Phantom, but I have such a nostalgic tie to Darker Than Black because that was the first anime I fell in love with besides Naruto. That was like my first favorite anime besides Naruto. I've rewatched it countless times. I love Darker Than Black. Rosario Vampire was dope, especially second season. I still haven't actually read the second season though. I recently bought it all within the last few months. Looks pretty fi. Won't lie to you. I heard it was like much more narrative heavy, which I'm pretty excited for, because I think the narrative does develop in a pretty interesting way in the first season of the manga. So, Samurai Flamenco, whatever. Shikaku no Shana 3, the finale. Okay. Skate the Infinity is 6. Dark and Black Journey of the Meteor was one of my first anime. Wait, did you watch the second season first? That's so weird. I mean, if you watch that first, no wonder you would think less than ideal of Darker Than Black. No, I'm just being, I guess, pretentious. Not pretentious, not the right word there, but like, I think I tried to recommend Darker Than Black to one of my friends first as well, and they started off with Gemini of the Meteor, and they're like, I'm so lost. I don't understand what's going on here. I'm like, yeah, you wouldn't, because you fucking missed the first season in the OVA. Like, that connects the two. It was on the Funimation channel for Verizon. Damn, y'all, you had Funimation on the TV? Canada be like Bionics at night and Jetix in the morning. And Teletoon had some anime, I guess. I Dark Than Black, just love Phantom. Super nostalgic. I mean, yeah, probably the exact same reason that I like Dark Than Black. Skate the Infinity at the 6. I don't know. Maybe I'm the weird one for liking Skate the Infinity so much. What is the general like kind of view of this? 82? Oh, never mind. I didn't realize that it was... Well, I think so. I think people generally, so far as I've heard, liked it. But everyone who I've reviewed on this stream seemingly has it like 7, 6, 5 even. I loved it, and I've already talked about why. But it was refreshing. It was very fun to me. I love I like the skateboarding kind of thing. You know, it had like a pop punk soundtrack. It just felt super early 2000s to me, like conceptually, not in execution at all. I just thought it was super fun. Do if you watch Rosario Vampire. I didn't watch Rosario Vampire for the plot. I watched very explicitly for the plot. I've read Rosario Vampire, however. I'm just gonna... You know what? We're gonna leave it at that. We're gonna leave it at that. Okay. Date Alive, yeah. Good shit. So Art Online 6, we've talked about this on stream before. It's not nearly as bad as people make it out to be. Tenchi in Tokyo is kind of cool. Never heard of that before. I'm immediately drawn to that like art style though. Tokyo Ghoul 6, Musume. Yo, noob, shout out. I mean, we all knew, or by we I mean you and I knew that J-Chip could watch this, but it's just cool to see the Uma Musume representation in our friend group. White Album 2, J-Chip's infamous review on this. I disagree. I think SAO is a pile of shit. That's fair. I mean, that seems to be the kind of general consensus, and I've seen the arguments for it, but like, again, I see the context from which I'm making the claim is that people say this is the worst anime of all time and give it like a 1. And to me, it is a far cry from a 1. It is a far cry from the worst anime of all time. As flawed as like its story, its characters might be, I genuinely believe that it's still basic and it's basic and unified enough, and its production solid enough, so that it's at least like a 3, maybe a 4. But it's miles above something like Zion, I Wish You Were Here, X Arm. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of my thing with Sword Art Online. People try to prop it up as the absolute worst thing to come out of this medium. Maybe it's the worst of like the decently produced stuff, but it's not the worst thing ever. Time skip online, sexual assault for forgivable motivations online. Give like a 3 or 2. I mean, again, 3 fine, but like a fucking people trying to dog on it as if it was the worst thing the medium's ever put out. I completely don't think that is at all true, because of how much utter dog shit has absolute like zero production and zero unity of plot that are just messes, such as again X Arms, Zion, Bandai Sisters, stuff like that. You know what I mean? So that's the context from which I make the claim. You Pyramid of Light. I fucking probably watched that movie like 10 trillion times. The soundtrack's so good, damn it. V-Rain. I didn't realize you watched all of V-Rain. It's kind of cool. Bro, just wait till you get to the things I gave 1 out of 10. Yeah, in 10 years when I get to that. Yu-Gi-Oh! 99. I haven't actually watched this Yu-Gi-Oh! Interestingly enough. I've only ever seen like clips or like maybe an episode or 2. Oh, that's a movie? What? Is it really? Oh, this is what I'm talking about. Didn't even realize there was a movie, bro. Damn, I'm out of touch with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community, man. Ace Attorney. Middle of the row. Yep. Quite literally. What do you got here at the middle of the row, actually? The Bleach movie, damn, the disrespect. Drawing in the Franks, Midland Wonderland. Yeah, fair stuff, I guess. A lot of the Dragon Ball movies, they don't seem fucking great. Fate Zero, I didn't realize you only gave it a 5. That must be a hot take, I guess. Drifters, okay. Gungrave. Panty Stalking? I don't know. I really enjoyed Panty Stalking. I'm not gonna lie to you. Pokemon, yeah, that makes sense to me. I think Princess, School Days. I actually sort of like the show despite having horrible characters due to the actions that Makoto had it coming. Yeah, again, likewise with like Sword Art Online. I think people try to sell School Days as the worst anime of all time, but for me, it's still a far cry, because even at worst, I think its biggest offense is just how fucking boring it is for 99% of the show. And if anything, I actually think that the ending is just super like out of left field. If you don't know if you don't know the kind of lore around School Days, and that it's actually pretty fucking interesting. But it's still like, yeah, I mean, 4 or 5, it's still fucking nothing remarkable. What else we got here for the 5? Silver Spoon, only 5? I don't know. I super enjoyed Silver Spoon. It was such a wholesome anime for me, you know what I mean? The worst thing I've seen is like Midori Shoujo Tsubaki or like Dark Cat, exactly. That's kind of what I'm thinking about when I think of like shitty, like actual shitty anime. Not School Days, which even if it's like the worst of everything it does, it's, I don't know. There's still more there. I don't know. I think I've made the argument enough. I feel good with what I've said. Like Toshiro and his movie wasn't that great. Sword of the Stranger, Tenchu Muyo, GXP, The Rising Shield Hero, White Album, Zexal, Dot Hack, Legend of the Twilight, middle of the row. But we're at the 4s now. This is no longer middle of the row. No, Chip. Not 4 for Black Blood Brothers. The disrespect. I like Black Blood Brothers, man. Back in the day, I actually went fucking crazy for this. There's videos on my old channel, me praising the fuck out of Black Blood Brothers. It's long since fell from that praise, but I don't know. I still wouldn't have it in me to give it a 4. I like the pro tag of Black Blood Brothers for what it's worth. What's his name? Yeah, Jiro. I liked him. He was kind of cool. Fuck the hate. Just kidding. Codebreaker. This was something that I wanted to watch for a long time, actually. I don't know why. It just looked cool to me. It was just like one of those, like, you know, when you go on like your pirated anime website, you just fucking you randomly flick around. This is something I found a long time ago and wanted to watch, but I guess I watched the first episode and I thought it was too dog shit to keep going. Yeah, it's dog shit. Yeah, Flowers of Evil. I mean, everybody, you know, shits on it for like the rotoscope and whatever, or whatever the problem might be. I want to still watch it though. I don't actually know what the exact critique of Flowers of Evil is, the anime. I know people think that the rotoscoping's weird. I don't know, I think it's conceptually interesting. But I reckon the problem is how it adapts to manga, maybe? I don't know. What is the particular issue? I still want to watch it because of how much I love Flowers of Evil, but... I mean, that doesn't look too good, I'm not gonna lie to you. And this just straight up looked like it was taken from the manga. The worst anime is Hey President Trapcoon. I think I watched one of those episodes on stream. Does that really even qualify as anime? That's how I found it. Pirate Bay? Yeah, exactly. Girls Bravo 4, yeah. I think I might be slightly more sympathetic towards some of these ecchi. Might have still given it like just above a 5 maybe. But not a far cry from a 4, I'll tell you that. Yasuke out of 4, respectable, honestly. It just did not meet my expectations at all. I did not have a great time with it. I liked some of the choreography and like the fight sequences, but I don't know, it just, some of the CGI wasn't great. I wish it focused on Yasuke more as opposed to like that girl and the mother. I don't know. We were sold into the idea of like this samurai, and we got nothing about the samurai. You watched Trapcoon, you reviewed my list? Oh, nice. I didn't realize that. Goodbye Evil and the USA is one of the most appealing pieces of media I've ever seen. Goodbye Elvis and the USA. Oh, interesting. I don't know if that's immediately recognizable to me. I'll do a little Googie search. Horrible. Oh, and the USA. I don't know why I said USA like a fucking stupid dodo head. Just fucking god awful. Is the audio supposed to be like this? Oh. I don't like that. Is it just 7 minutes long? Should we watch this on stream? It's kind of cursed though. No. He very much does not want to watch this. Goodbye Elvis and USA. Yeah, look at that intricate sound design. That the water is just so full of life. Yeah, the deep, sexy voice. Okay. Takashi Nishioka. Guys, at the end of this, we can all say we watched this and add it to our AniList. Edited? What the fuck did he edit? There's nothing here, bro. You're fucking panning like 2 images back and forth. You might get a strike. Yeah. I might get a strike, but it might be worth it. For goodbye Elvis. Those are titties. Oh, cock and ball. Goodbye Elvis. I don't think I want to add this to my list. Oh, interesting. Array. You know, maybe you don't like it because you just don't get it. You ever thought of that? Look at that cock and tit. Okay, I'm gonna stop it. You should never mention goodbye Elvis again. And that's all I'll say. We're in the 3s now. Really? Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F? Is that better than the Chimera Antark? Dude, easy. Nice chicken breast. You're forgiven, Snow. What's the problem with these? Is the second coming of Broly? No, that's the older one, right? Yeah, 94. Um, what's the problem with Resurrection F? I thought people. I don't know. I thought people liked this. You know, Gold Frieza. It's the one with the family Kamehameha. What's wrong with that? You know, a little bit of family. 3, some 6s, yeah. A 3? I respect how hard you were willing to go on it, but I mean, it's no Goodbye Elvis in the USA. Okay, so I gotta do a little tab clear. My AI is I don't, bro. How are you speaking in tongues to me or something? Golden Time, No Game, No Life. A 3, okay. Psychopaths 2. Soul Eater not. Sword Art Online 2. Terror and Resonance a 3. That's a hot fucking take. What about this was a 3 to you is my question. I'm gonna press you on this one, bro, because this one's. People like this one. I like this one. 78. You know what I mean? Would you give it a 3? A 3? I don't know. What didn't do it for you, man? I didn't like the Frieza movie. It can eat a. Okay. I mean, 8, 7.5, 8, 9, 8.5, 7. Okay. I still don't understand that Doofy. I had an argument with Chip about this. Yeah. I like Terror and Resonance quite a bit, actually. I don't know. That was, but the man himself. I mean, that doesn't obviously make it good, but I don't know, bro. Chip, do you have a few hot takes? I'm not the only one. Yeah, I mean, goes without saying. Mewtwo has top 3 soundtracks in all Watanabe series as well. Yeah, it's fucking fantastic. Route A 3. I mean, yeah. Future Diary 2. Y'all really relentless on Future I thought that shit was fun as fuck. Vampire Knight. Yeah. A 2. I mean, there was something about the experience of watching Vampire Knight that I enjoyed, and I can't exactly put my finger on it because even watching it, I knew it wasn't something I liked. But I just hit this weird moment of self-awareness where I was able to find enjoyment in it despite my knowing I don't like it. It's so weird to make sense of. Do you watch One Piece? If not, please do. I won't. Date Alive is bad, noob. Straight up. Dark Cat, Euphoria, Girls and Panzer. Hey President Trapcoon. Yeah. Kiss Us Sis, King's Game. Fuck you watching, J-Chip. You're kind of sussy baka for this one. Etchy. Iskai, okay. Didn't Resurrection D sucked ass. I can't stand Frieza's new dub actress and go on as a wimpy bitch in the movie. Fair enough, I guess. Nami, no littering. Pupa. I think I gave Pupa like a 5.5, dude. Same extra reflection. Yeah, you were fucking relentless on that. I'm not gonna watch this ever. It just seems like such a soulless adaptation. Sword for Truth. You got a lot of ones here. I respect it. The rape. The rape, man. What the fuck? Oh, no, I reset it. What the fuck? Who's this my doing? I'm doing J-Chips. I guess I shouldn't try and make that clear, I guess. Let me just scroll down to the bottom again real quick. I'm pretty much done with J-Chips. Then I might do a few shorter ones, but Snow, yours is going to be the beginning of the next one. Sorry, bro. I gave it a 3, and Noob, why go so as far as a talk? You both have... you both agree it's bad. I would say 4 and 2 isn't what you should have in-depth talk about. It's like a 4 bad, not a 2 bad. Yeah, I don't know about all that, bro. The difference is negligible between a 4 and 2, honestly. Once you get under like 5, I feel like the differences are usually negligible, except between maybe like a 1 and like a 4.9. Okay, let's get to the bottom of this shit. I hate that about AniList that doesn't just all load automatically. It makes it kind of annoying to scroll when you're dealing with lists this long. Vampire Knight guilty. Gave a fucking 1. Zion definitely deserves a 1. Boku no Pico just unrated. Yeah, you got some unrated shit here. Cool. Overall, maybe like a 7.5. I don't know. Honestly, your list was so long, and I spent too much time talking about everything. I don't even remember half your scores. I'll just give you 7.5 though, because we seem to have some overlap. I'm gonna grab a drink, and I'll be right back, folks. So enjoy the nice sound of the rain while I do that. Hello? Oh, sorry. Wrong. Could you hear me when I was still on? Be right back. Like if I turn in here, do you still hear me? Like, did you still hear that? You made a really great point, Josh. I know you say it all the time, but like nothing is above criticism. But that's also why I emphasize context is important. Because even though I roast the fuck out of like AOT and HXH on my TikTok, but I've given those a 9 and 8 respectively. You know what I mean? So it's like criticism doesn't necessarily always equate to some low score. You just kind of have to contextualize it. Like, how are they talking about? What are they talking about? Or the vocabulary they're employing against it. I think you can use much more hostile language towards certain shows during critique, and that might be indicative of a lower score, but like, not necessarily. It's one true motto of our crew Discord. Yeah. So already read the One Piece motto? No, I have not. I have an AniList. If you're curious if I've ever watched something, I would refer you to that. Can you do mine in your next video, Doofy? If you're gonna do only shorter ones for the rest of this vid, mine's too long. I don't know. I feel like I should just get Snows out of the way, even though it's a fucking massive one. What even shorter ones would I have to do? Well, it's 1:11. I'll probably go. How long has this been? Oh, hour and a half. Maybe I'll go for another hour at least. Put me in the couch. I'm ready. Yeah. Snow's been wanting this for a while, only because of how desperately he wants it and how desperately I want to just see what he's got going on there. So let's see. I waiting for some of this. Can you read my manga as well? I just realized I haven't been reviewing manga, even though I said I would. I'm sorry, boys. Let's get along to fucking, where is it? Where is our good? I can just type in Snow HD. Eat some ice cream and jump in, noob. All right, we're going in, boys. This is definitely gonna take a couple streams. I won't lie to you. Rate your AniList, like rate my own. I think that's actually a fucking brilliant idea. I'll probably start off the next stream with that. Nah, psych. I gotta do your guys's. My own like values come out in my critiques of other shows. You know what I mean? So let me like scratch my fucking eyes and be a gross human being for like 5 seconds. And probably clean my glasses because I know I just smudged them. I'm so sorry, guys. This mic stand has seen better days. I mean, the mic itself has also seen better days, but like I gotta at least get a new mic stand because this happened twice now. This stream alone. Also my fault, I guess, for putting the mic stand in front of my desk drawer. Mom, look, I'm on the big screen. You sure are, Snow Buddy. You made it. You made it onto the infamous My Name is Doofy, home to 10 billion subscribers. Actually, you know what? I don't whip them out enough. Let me put on the other glasses. Even though they give me like a fucking headache, despite the fact that it has the exact same prescription as the fucking regular doofy glasses. These are the OG doofs. Like, this is closer to the style of my original glasses. If you guys remember my older videos, they make me look fatter, I think. Like, you'd think the circle glasses would make me look fatter, but I think the square ones actually make me look blockier and incidentally fatter. But I should still give this a little washerino. God, it's so fucking weird with these square glasses. I don't know. I feel like to everybody else in the universe, the difference is so minor. Probably not even worth mentioning. But like to me, it's a world of a difference. When I got my glasses, I got, you know, two pairs for the price of one. I knew I wanted to get like the circle glasses because those are kind of like the vibe. I just think they're a little more sleek too. But I wanted to get a pair of square glasses simply because I have an Aizen cosplay and I wanted to still be able to cosplay as Aizen. Was MyAnimeList the first one you reacted to on stream? I want to say yes, but I'm not confident because I'm not confident in my old memory. It's quite faulty, despite my young age. I'm still only a fresh, young 23-year-old chicken. Let me just fold this up and then I'll commence with the operations. Also, my lack of water is straight up disrespectful. My body's craving for it. I see that you'd pull off Aizen well. I'm thinking I'm going to do a bunch of TikToks in the Aizen cosplay, which means that the facial hair is going soon. I know, it's very gross. I can't grow facial hair for the rest of my life. I think I reviewed Kieran's a long-ass time ago, noob. Not in this latest sequence, I don't think. Yeah, I'm thinking of doing a bunch of TikToks in Aizen's cosplay because I think that'd probably garner some views. I'll just do a fuckload until at least one pops off. Gugyo Suigetsu. Is that the name of Shikai? Yeah, absolutely. Gyoka Suigetsu. And then the motherfuckers just fall for it, man. They just fall for it. Noob, you were in the stream, yeah. I hate y'all that have it fucking like this, bro. Just put it like that, you know what I mean? Like a fucking respectful human being. So much. I'm very excited. Let's look what you're watching. I already discussed it last time. Mushishi, we've discussed relentlessly on our server. Beautiful anime. Highly recommend to anybody who has not watched it. I won't speak too much more because I already gave a big spiel about it in the last stream. Macross, never watched. You're watching AOT final season. Good shit. Baccano as well. What do you think of Baccano so far, Snow, actually? I'd be curious to know your thoughts. I'm sure you've watched Durarara, so I guess the question is, do you like it more or less than? Obviously, you're way too early to really say concretely, but I know Chip likes Baccano more. I like Durarara more. Episode in the Paranoia Agent. Pretty Boy Detective Club. Not a great series, to be completely honest. It's odd that this was the one anime out of this season you decided to watch. It's been a while, but it's really fun. Yeah, I mean, Baccano is really fun. I still ended up giving it like a 7 or something, but... Alright, let's get to the completed. I'm not going to address everything for obvious reasons. Durarara is like an 8 or 10, so it's going to be hard to be better than that. Yeah, exactly. Well, I might have even been more charitable. I might have given Durarara like an 8.5. I really, again, I'm a big fan of the Durarara cast. Character casts for me are Ishimbu. What do you mean odd? I don't remember. I don't remember what I was. Oh fuck! That's why you picked Pretty Boy Detective Club. It's by the Monogatari guy. Sorry, I completely brain farted for a moment. What was I saying before all that? Something about Durarara and Baccano. Yeah, I gave Durarara 8.5, I think, just because of how much I love the cast. And again, for me, casts really carry series. And that's why, again, I say it all the time, but that's why Hunter x Hunter is held back from me. That's why Attack on Titan is being held back from a potential, maybe even a 10. That's a lie. I mean, there's a lot more issues present in Attack on Titan than characters, but and I still love it regardless. But there are definitely things like a stronger character cast that would bring it up even higher. Silent Voice I've talked about before. The movie just simply did not keep me engaged. The fact of the matter is, I was bored during watching it. I have no critique of it. I was watching it during a time where I wasn't even into anime that much. I started getting back into it. I might have been watching. I probably watched Your Name and like Todoradora around that time. Maybe Urin and maybe like a few other like kind of rom-coms with my girlfriend. I watched A Silent Voice during that kind of binge. The other ones kept me engaged. I don't know. I did not enjoy Silent Voice. But I can't formulate like any kind of strong critique against it, which a lot of people press me on when I say I didn't enjoy it. But unfortunately, the boredom occurs on a purely emotional level, and that's not something that has universality. I can't communicate boredom. Akira is whatever. I wasn't super huge in the movie. Visually, it was stunning, and that alone made up for it. And the kind of final end scene was pretty cool as well. But like, I don't know, a lot of it was just whatevs. I do want to watch the Berserk anime. You've got a little note here. The animation has not aged very well, but the story's really carrying the show. Very strong ending and a great world of characters. Ending was what makes it stand out as a masterpiece. What does this adapt precisely of the Berserk manga? I feel like I'd probably rather watch Berserk. I don't know why that is, because I normally would prefer to read something, I think. But Berserk is something that I feel like I'd be more inclined to watch. It's strange, I know. I find rewatching things to give me way better reasons to like or dislike it, but fair enough. Manga made me fucked up for a week. AniList. Fuck off, Mim. AniList is way better than Mal. Golden Age all the way to Eclipse. Okay, so it adapted a fair amount, so I might consider watching this. Black Lagoon is still something that I have not watched, despite my massive sympathies towards action series generally. And it's something I need to get on ASAP, man. Still haven't watched Castle in the Sky, but given how highly you've rated it, I think that this will be the next Ghibli movie I tackle then. What is it about Castle in the Sky particularly that you like? Code Geass we have here at 10, so I already talked about how I think it's overrated. Still haven't watched Bebop. Brotherhood's an easy 10. Haven't watched Ghost in the Shell. Grave of the Fireflies, bro. Yeah. I think I gave it like a high 8. This has some of the most grueling fucking scenes in anime, man. Like, just in terms of just pure emotional power. Holy fuck, dude. This is such an old movie. I'm going to say as little as possible to avoid spoilers, but I kind of have to just say a bit to really... Or maybe I should just avoid spoilers. It's so fucking hateful to try and avoid spoilers to talk about what's so good. But the scene with the rocks, I guess I'll say, like, I was like... It wasn't just, like, crying. It wasn't just weeping. It wasn't just... Like, it was, like, fucking hysterical crying. How fucking, like, just, like, the pure despair that this movie was able to depict. I had never seen anything done so masterfully, to be frank. Wonder Adventure is what I love. The fairy tale told by Miyazaki is one of the princeless thing in anime, and with the tone shifts and story, easily one of the best Miyazaki films. Okay, noted. I totally butchered reading that, but yeah, I definitely look forward to eventually reading it, watching it. Sorry. In This Corner of the World. Why is that so familiar? Is that on Netflix also? By Mappa. When does this drop? I think I've seen the recommend. Is this sad also? I hope so, because I love sad shit, and I see Grave of the Fireflies as the first thing people recommend, and A Silent Voice, and Only Yesterday, and Tale of Princess Kaguya. I get the sense that this is fucking sad. Yes, very. Oh man, I gotta watch this like fucking. I might even watch this like in the next few days because I love sad shit. Things that can make me bawl my eyes out. I love. Jinro, the Wolf Brigade. I actually haven't even heard of this. So for you to have given it a 10, let's see what the boys are saying. It's a movie. That's why also I'm pretty like not knowledgeable of anime films from 2000s. Pretty good era generally. After witnessing the suicide bombing of a terrorist girl, Constable blah blah becomes haunted by her image. Oh, that sounds brutal. Is forced to undergo retraining for his position in the Capitol Police Special Unit. However, unknown to him, he becomes a key player in a dispute between the Capitol and local police forces. That sounds pretty fucking badass, actually. Alright, again, I only use the plan to watch function liberally, but I am not only adding 1, but I'm adding 2. Again, I use this very liberally. I have like less than 20 on my plan to watch. So, already some good shit. It is very much, yeah. Kino's Journey I also want to watch, but people used to recommend Kino's Journey on the basis of Mushishi a lot. Do you see that kind of parallel at all, Josh? Or but yeah, this is also something I might invest in a little later on down the farm, but form. Just gotta go to his fam. Got a little British on him, eh? Some of the Gottery stuff, yeah, you know, it's Gottery. Land Illustrious, March comes like a Lion, season 1. Season 2, again, people like fucking love the bullying arc. So I really gotta hop on that. Because I did enjoy the first season quite a bit. More Gottery stuff, Nasuka of the Wind. Also, still just haven't watched. It's episodic, that's about it. Oh, yeah, that's a pretty weak comparison then. I thought there might have been more of like a substantial kind of connection there, but Ava, yeah, duh. Easy 10. More Gottery stuff. Perfect Blue, I need to watch. Mononoke, I've talked about before. I think it's overrated. Main conflict is genius. The flawed philosophy of the animals and humans creates a very compelling story. I'm just so bored of that kind of theme, that dispute. What else we got here? Revolutionary Girl Utena. Chip mentioned this before, actually. I've never actually watched it. I don't even think I've heard about it before Chip mentioned it, actually. He mentioned about how influential it was in the 90s or something like that. I don't know. I question its influence if I didn't even know its name, but I mean, I'm also just not hella knowledgeable on anime. When everything's a metaphor, and everything builds already great characters even farther, that is what this movie is and what it does. It does seem pretty cool, though. To me, Kino's Journey is amazing for social commentary and perspective it gives about the audience, that the religion plot line being one of my favorite in anime. That's kind of cool. Trust Me Trail, I mean, duh. Steins Gate, we've talked about before. Harumi Suzumiya, Princess Kaguya, also haven't watched. It's like all the Ghibli movies I haven't watched, you've given a 10, except for Grave of the Fireflies. Trigun, incredible cast of characters, one of my favorite all time. Vash the Stampede, very fun show, very many great moments. I agree. Though I wouldn't go as far as to give it a 10. To me, it was like, I don't know, like a 7, mid 7 maybe. Weathering with You is another one that I think I will love because of how much I loved Your Name, and it just seems to be a better Your Name, to be frank. When Marnie Was There, again, another one I want to watch because of how sad it seems. Yeah, damn. I might have to. It's a better Your Name, yeah, that's what I was thinking. I might just have to go on like a movie binge soon instead of like going through all these anime like series. Wolf Children, never watched it, interestingly enough. So now we're kind of cracking the 9s. You got a lot of 10s here, but given how many anime you've seen, I mean, this is very, you know, acceptable. Rocking in the 9s. Got some of the Bakuman stuff. Beck out of 9, I respect that. Anytime I see Beck and it's over, you know, 9, Big props. Darker than... Oh, thank fucking God he gave Darker Than Black a 9, man. I saw Chip gave it a 7, and I recognize 7's a great score, but man, Darker Than Black is just, again, one of my very first favorite anime, so it was just so nice to see somebody else with it as high, well, about as high as me on their list. Do not care for Weathering With You personally. I always feel like I'm in the minority. Interesting. What is the kind of consensus on Weathering With You, actually? I feel like people like it less than Your Name, like just generally. So I don't know if you're in the minority on that. 83, right? And Your Name is 86. I mean, it's not that substantial a difference. I mean, popularity would be more of a difference. It's less than Your Name, that's correct, yeah. Let me just close some of these tabs real quick. Chia Furia, I remember you were talking about that, actually. And was it Chien who said like how surprised he was at how long the manga was? I don't know. I'd like to know more about this, actually, because you seem to have spoken quite highly of it, and I mean, you've given it an 8, so, or a 9 rather, so that's incentive for sure. Most people like less than Your Name, but it's better. Oh, interesting. Okay. Planet After Story, we've talked about before. Death Note. Again, I mean, it's an easy 9. Dororo as well. Ergo Proxy for me always felt like it just felt a little pretentious, and I've given the same critique on stream of it before. Obviously, if you know like my kind of interpretive philosophy, it doesn't make sense to say that a show is hollow or shallow or anything like that. At least to say that the show itself is, in I guess an objective sense. But to me, every time I go to the show, despite like some interesting visual stuff and some cool imagery, I personally always get the impression that this is a lot of empty hand waving. If I took a more critical eye to it, maybe I took more time, I could probably get more out of it, as with any anime. But I don't know. I just didn't feel like this show warranted that. I did really enjoy the English dub, though. I will also add that in there, of course. Masterpiece manga, yes, it was Chien. Okay. I guess I'm not the biggest fan of them letting a portion of the country... Okay, whoa, spoilers. Simply not going to look at that. Oh, okay. Unlimited Blade Work at a 9. That's incentivizing me even more to watch those. Fully Coolly, so much cool stuff happening every episode with great animation. Truly must watch. Yeah, absolutely. FMA, Ghost in the Standalone Complex. All the Gintama shit. People seem to really love Gintama. Everyone who's watched it has spoken so highly of it. And I mean, it's like one of the most universally praised, not just like battle shonen, but like anime. But like to me, as I've already mentioned, you know, my days of watching these long ass anime are behind me simply because of how pressed I am for time these days. Please check out mine. I mean, bro, I'm doing Snows right now. 800 anime, so I will do yours if you go to my Discord and you drop it in there, but this alone is going to take an episode or two. Shields, also, I appreciate you retracting that sentence. Yeah, I really appreciate that. His and Her Circumstances. I feel like I was looking at this last time with Chip's list. It looks really cool, but I don't know much about it. Oh, look at you with the fucking OG Hunter x Hunter at a 9. I love to see that, you know what I mean? Is the original Hunter x Hunter, is that like riddled with filler, or like what is the difference? I know with the original Hunter x Hunter, a lot of the arcs like have their own OVAs or films or whatever. Like Greed Island has its own thing. I do believe York New has its own thing as well. What does the original anime cover? And I mean, what's the filler like? Yeah, again, York New has its own OVA. I remember Greed Island has its own OVA, and the Greed Island finale, I didn't realize it was broken up into 2. I believe alternate ending. Cool. Yeah. The action Gintama is great, so at the very least you will like that. I'm sure I would actually love Gintama, but time is now such an issue for me. Went to Eat Your Pancreas. Another like movie I know I will love, but just never got around to. Again, I'm always so hesitant to go through with movies, just because I don't know. I have some weird affinity against movies that is totally unjustified. Because it's not even the fact that a movie's longer than an episode. Because normally when I watch an anime, I'll watch like 5 or 6 episodes at a time, which is longer than a movie, right? So, yes, that's correct. But it feels like the OG has more character in it, I would say, where the 2011 one is much more polished. That's fair, yeah. I would draw a similar parallel, perhaps, between Hellsing and Hellsing Ultimate. Like, I don't know, and I think this is more so just a reflection of the production. Like Hellsing, the original was 2003 maybe, and of course it goes off into the filler ending. But I mean, I'm more sympathetic towards that production style, and that to me is much more charming than Ultimate, which I think is like the perfect adaptation for what it's worth, and that's like a masterpiece of an anime. But it's more polished, but kind of you're losing the charm of, like the early 2000s production. I guess likewise with Full Metal as well. I mean, what the Full Metal 2003 series adapts, it's in my opinion better than the Brotherhood stuff, because again, as Chip pointed out, Brotherhood does assume right off the bat that you have some familiarity with the characters, and so you do lack a bit of development there. But also, so in the original one, it does kind of feel like it fleshes out the characters a little more in those early stages. But also, like what it does, like the Chimera shit and the funeral, those scenes are fucking nailed in '03, because I think the production lends itself to a much grittier tone, which enhances something as dark as, again, the Chimera scene or the funeral. It doesn't have the same punch in Brotherhood, to be honest. Though I would say, again, overall, Brotherhood is the better series. For real, man, you lose the original charm, but it makes up for the examples you give, so I 100% agree. Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. That's why I do think Chip is right in saying that it's probably best to like approach something like with Hellsing and Full Metal. I don't know if this is true for Hunter x Hunter. Maybe you can speak to this for me. With Hellsing, I don't know if there is as much of a benefit for watching the original first, but I just feel like I'd recommend that first, because I do think it what it does adapt, it adapts slower, and so I feel like there's a little more kind of build, and so you get a little more familiarity with some of the main characters and the different themes and what have you. And even though it does go off into like a kind of filler ending, once you approach the kind of remake, you have that kind of familiarity with the characters that you can look at the remake with a more critical eye, and you can look at for the different and subtle differences from the original, and how those are being developed, and just get a greater appreciation for. I like how they reveal what happened to their bodies/mothers in the original Full Metal compared to Brotherhood. Yeah, I also quite like that. And I actually like the ending of the Shambhala movie quite a bit. I would say you can watch the OG, because I think 2011 really blows past the first island. Okay. Yeah. I don't know what you mean by that. Are you saying that like after the island, 2011 blows the original out of the water, or? But regardless, I mean, just some things to ponder, I suppose. Initial D, I'm loving all the Initial D love here. Fifth stage, final stage, first stage, fourth stage, second stage. Kind of obscure episode counts here. I kind of like that, though. Rocket X, welcome to the chat. Glad to have you here. We're back on our bullshit. I'm currently going through Snow HD's list. Josh in the chat. God's Hometown goes by really fast. I think I probably prefer that, to be honest. Kiki's, big respect for sure. It's one of my favorite Ghibli films. Really enjoyed Kiki's delivery service. I just found Kiki to be so charming, you know what I mean? Such a great, well-written character. Who's next in line for AniLists? I'd like you to put my name down. You'd have to go into my Discord and like submit your AniList there. Though honestly, there is really no order, to be completely honest. Next stream, I'm gonna Kiki. Next stream, I'm gonna make, because I'm totally not finishing Snows tonight. Like, it's just simply not happening. We're still only on the 9s. But next stream, I will attempt to finish Snows, and I will probably start doing a bunch of shorter ones. Moggy, again, I've already done the meme, but every time I see Moggy, I cannot help but to think of For Neverworld saying, "That Moggy greatness." And I don't know. I mean, according to Snow, it is that greatness. So, Metropolis. I don't think I've heard of. Again, just a lack of knowledge of anime films. Very interesting premise and story, creating a cool sci-fi story with a nice conflict. Overall, unique and beautiful movie. To me, although you have a bunch of 9s, the ones where you're incentivized to drop a comment, to me, shows that those are just slightly better. Even just by a hair. You cared enough to write what you think it does good. That to me is, I don't know, that speaks a lot to this. And that just might be, I don't know. Because you could easily say, like, something bad in there, which would actually, I don't know, make it look like it's a little worse than the other ones in the same, like, number or category. But, I don't know. I suppose the ones you rewatch would actually be ones you like more. But not necessarily, again. You might want to rewatch it to try and give something another chance. So anyways, Madhouse, Dune, Tezuka. That's Metropolis. Oh, you've recommended that to me already, actually. So I'm gonna do it again. Like I said, I don't do this often, but that's gonna be the plan to watch for me. I ended up dropping the manga. I guess for Neverworld was wrong. Mine is like 30 anime. It's very short. I'm a noob, I guess. I need to know how y'all are able to watch that many anime. I feel like I'm gonna be stuck in my 30s for a while. I don't know. Sometimes you just gotta commit. Like Snow's told me, like, just being in high school, like fucking before going to bed, watch a 12 episode series. You know what I mean? Like doing that every day, that adds up very quickly. Even for me, man, like, fuck, I'll throw on an anime like and just do whatever. And I don't know. There's easy ways to just start building anime. Yeah, I've been watching anime for a couple of years now. Yeah, but I mean, even so, that shit adds up. I mean, Noob's only been watching anime for like half a year, 1 year maybe, a little over a year. Bro's almost got like 300 to 400 anime. It could be done. You just gotta like commit to it, I guess. Depends on your willingness to commit to it. Sometimes I question if it's worth it. No, I don't. Not only is there a lot of good anime, you're also always finding out about more that look good. Movies add up as well. Yeah, movies seem to be something I should commit myself to a little more, because I'm just so unfamiliar with them. I like them big shonen have a ton of movies. Yeah, that's very true. Lord knows fucking half my list is Naruto and Pokemon movies. Been watching anime for a year and a half. Holy cow, hey man, you go at your own pace. Just consume at the rate you are most comfortable with. I think I've only watched 100 anime total. I grew up my anime phase very quickly and moved on to manga pretty fast. Yeah, I get that for sure. I'm always wavering. Like 1 month will be a heavy anime month. 1 month will be a heavy manga month for me. Don't speed it up. It'll make you burn out faster. Yeah, I totally agree. I've burnt out anime so many times. That's why, I'll definitely exercise precaution. Totoro at a 9. You seem to just have a kind of sympathy towards a lot of Ghibli stuff anyways, but I mean, Totoro was definitely a lower Ghibli film for me. I do appreciate, I mean, these are such vague terms, I feel, but I throw them around so confidently. The imaginative charm of, like, most, like, Miyazaki films is very present in Totoro, though I'd say at a lesser extent than, say, something like, I don't know, Spirited Away or Kiki's Delivery Service. And so it does, you normally rank a little lower for me amongst those that I've seen, but, Gotcha, Josh. You don't actually need a big number anyways. Yeah, exactly, bro. Just like watch anime that you think you'll enjoy and enjoy it. Watch for pleasure. Don't watch under pressure. Big facts. Don't speed it up. Make you burn out faster. Yeah, big time. Like really, just like find something that you know you're gonna like and commit yourself to it. Don't make it a chore. Don't feel like you need to watch a certain amount of anime per day. Just kind of go with the flow. That is the most productive way, for sure, to approach anime, I think. Ponyo, Ponyo, Fishy in the Sea. Madoka Magic movie. Haven't actually seen any of them. I've only ever watched the series. Surprised that you rate the movie so high, given your kind of distaste for the ending of Madoka. Shimbu put on a show with some of the best visuals I've ever seen. The story is solid, but then again, the reasons they are giving for why things happen is preventing me from giving it a 10. Ah, fair. Kenshin at a 9. I've talked about that before. Like, was it Shampoo? Lane, yeah, Lane's pretty solid. Soul Eater at a 9. I think I've given my Soul Eater story a trillion times on stream already, but like, it was one of the first anime that was really big in my friend group, and so in my earlier days, especially like my previous YouTube channel, I would just dog on Soul Eater to try and like distinguish myself from the group. And I do hold like some fair critiques against it. I think some of the character cast is pretty weak. Excalibur is arguably the most annoying character in all of anime. I do hate that they don't go farther with the whole concept of the 99 souls and the one witch soul. The ending's an obvious sore thumb as well. But I mean, generally for 51 episode anime, it is fun. There are definitely some highlights, some great fights in there too. A really fun soundtrack as well. Yeah, that's just my. Wait, Doofy, you didn't watch the movie? No, I didn't. Monogatari is my 5th favorite anime. The Drive will come. you will find that one that sucks you into the rabbit hole. Yeah, absolutely. Anyone here watch Monogatari? Oh, yeah, sorry, I should have went up even more. Spirited Away at a 9, respectfully. Summer Wars, haven't watched. Yeah, you've watched a lot of anime movies. I'm gonna have to reference your list more to just find good anime movies to watch. Because I feel like I should bring up my repertoire of anime movies. Girl Who Leapt Through Time. This is what sad romance is all about. Great characters with an unbelievable time travel system and a great story with a bittersweet ending. Sounds like my kind of movie, man. I've been meaning to watch that for a while, actually. Same with The Night of Short Walk On Girl, because of its relation to Tommy Galaxy, which is a super great anime for those who haven't checked it out. Though I always feel like with things like this, I don't know if it applies to The Night of Short Walk On Girl, but like a lot of like the subtle writing is lost upon an English audience, because like Tatami Galaxy, for instance, is known for a lot of like witty wordplay in Japanese, which just simply can't be translated. And so it's a shame, because I do feel like there'd be even more to appreciate had I a grasp of the language, but unfortunately the language barrier does prevent me from enjoying something like Tatami even more. And I do believe that this holds of Monogatari for a lot of people that actually know Japanese and have reviewed it as such. Though obviously the English audience has made a lot out of Monogatari and the Gatari stuff generally. But again, it does seem to be one of those things that would benefit from a knowledge of Japanese. I haven't watched Monogatari, but I read the light novel, and they're my favorite light novels. It's really cool. Is Monogatari weird, Josh? People say it'll make me uncomfortable or something, but I want to try it. Two Your Godfathers I also want to watch. Monogatari shit. You Lie in April. Big W, big W. Wonder Egg Priority. Still need to watch that. Want to try it and try it if you don't. The ones you draw. Yeah, exactly. Like there's no. If it's mildly interesting to you, give it a go. Like literally like 1 or 2 episodes. But if literally even the first episode didn't do it for you, I mean, just feel justified in dropping it. Like you're by no means obliged to follow through on any anime you watch. So it's worth checking out everything that mildly interests you, but also at the same time, be equally as willing to drop it if you just think it's not worth. Because again, you gotta just try and maximize your enjoyment out of anime, and the best way to do that is to just add and drop as you see fit. You can try it after Love Is a War and Fate series. Good shit. I'd say it's weird, but it really embraces anime culture and does it unflinchingly while also being satirical of its tropes. Yeah, Love Is a War and Fate series also do seem to be like good choices. You Lie in April we've talked about before, same with Yu Yu Hakusho. Let's see your little comment here though. Some of the greatest arcs in anime history, such as Dark Tournament. The only thing preventing me from giving it a 10 is the Deus Ex Machina. That's fair. A Place Farther Than the Universe. Okay, so we're entering the 8s now. I mean, so far everything's solid. It's very refreshing to me to see so many movies so highly rated. This actually incentivizes me quite a bit to watch some of these films. Just because, like, films, I think, are a pretty good complete experience each time, so to know that there are a lot of those at such a high score is pretty nice. Pretty nice. So we got all the AOT stuff, it seems, at an 8. Well, at least, okay, season 1 and 3. Interesting. Okay. I reckon you've got, well, you're watching the last season. I reckon you probably got season 3 part 2 at a 7 maybe, or even a 6. Likewise with season 2, which is interesting because for me it's the opposite. I think I like season 2 and season 3 part 2 more than season 1 and season 3. Just because I'm not, again, it's relative to the show. I still gave like AOTs, all of them, like an 8.5 plus. But the first half of the first season was a little weak to me, relatively, of course. I did love the female Titan arc though, because Annie's one of my favorite characters. But that first half kind of holds it down a little bit for me. Season 3, I just didn't like the kind of turn to like the more political perspective and just the more interpersonal drama. Well, I can't say that because season 2 I love, and a lot of the drama is again based between the main cast, Reiner and Bertold and Aaron and what have you. But I don't know, it didn't work in season 3 for me. I don't know, I like the politics. It just didn't work for me with Attack on Titan. But that's a Tempest at an 8. That's pretty interesting. I remember seeing that on Crunchyroll back when I had that 10 trillion years ago. I think one of my friends ended up watching it, and he quite liked it as well. At an 8, I mean, that's pretty good. Clannad, Lelouch, Dragon Ball, Durarara at an 8. I still need to finish the second and third arcs of X2, but Evangelion the Rebuilds, yeah, also gave those an 8. I think post season 3 part 2, the characters of AOT get major boost. I'd second that. Though I sometimes feel that the narrative suffers a little bit also. But I haven't worked out that critique entirely, so I wouldn't speak more to that right now. To save myself from looking like an idiot. Get some more Gintama. You love to see it. The Force to Piano. Okay, I always see that on Netflix. I think. I always scroll past it as well. Gunbuster. Grand Blue Dreaming. Okay, Golden Boy. I'm glad you gave the original Hellsing that 8. It's a very. I mean, again, I'm just so sympathetic towards that era of production that fuck, I can watch anything from that era and I'd still probably look at it in a pretty high light. Howl's Moving Castle. Interesting that you have Howl's Moving Castle below Totoro. Because for me, Howl's Moving Castle shares that kind of same imaginative spirit as like Spirited Away, which I really love. I love how like inventive the castle itself is. I quite like Hal as a character. Definitely more than Totoro, but like I mean, it's like a 1 mark difference, so it's not a massive thing. Just a curious note. Inuyasha. Fun fact: I had a girlfriend in grade 5 who was like super into Inuyasha, and for that reason, I never watched Inuyasha. I'm petty. It doesn't take much to turn me from something, but like I say, there are so many anime out there that you need some kind of arbitrary means of sifting through the shit that you just don't want to watch. And if it's something as little as I don't want to watch isekai, then fuck it. There's like, given the trajectory of the anime production in the anime industry, we're looking at like 500 anime a year within the next few years. That's a fucking lot. 90% of all anime was produced in the last 10 years. That's fucking insane. A lot of anime out there. We need some means to sift through it all. And if that means, generalizing a whole category for the sake of finding anime, then I think that you're perfectly legitimate to do that. I don't, however, think that sweeping claims about a whole genre hold much water. And I don't think that they work as serious critiques on their own. But as a principle of like finding anime, I think that's fine. If that makes sense. I don't know how articulate that was. Kids on the Slope an 8, I respect. I really loved it. I loved the fucking ending of Kids on the Slope, and that alone I think boosted it to like a 9 for me. Amongst my favorite anime for sure. But I mean, an 8's still a fucking awesome score. Log I talked about. I'm simply not into. More Magi, Maid-sama. Okay, another one with Maid-sama quite high. Sorry, I wasn't sure if I was getting hacked in real life or not. It seems I wasn't. Thank God. Oh, my phone's charged. Cool stuff. You love the romance genre? Good shit. I normally don't, but I can really enjoy romance with my girlfriend because she likes romance stuff. And like that's our compensation. Like if we're gonna watch regular ass movies, like I almost always want to put on like some kind of weird thriller shit. She'll watch it, but I know she doesn't love it. Normally she just likes romances. But like the compensation we had going on for a long time is she does like kind of like anime. Like she grew up with it, and she watched some others when she got older. I obviously love anime, and so our compensation is like when we're together, we would watch like romance anime, and that's why I watch like Toradora, Asylum Voice, Your Name, stuff like that. Amongst like a few others like Tsuki ga Kiri and stuff like that. Forget it. We watched a bunch together, but this is something I'd love to watch with her, and I think that would boost my experience with it. Try watching Maquilla together. Maquilia? Do a little Google search, Reno. When the Promised Flower Blooms. That looks very sweet and wholesome. And it's a film at that. You can get the complete experience in one sitting. I just may, on your recommendation. Oh, damn, dude. That ice cream looks good. Sorry, I'm just checking the, I'm just checking my Discord real quick because y'all going crazy in here. What kind of ice cream? Okay, fuck it. We'll do a little, I'll dox myself real quick. Chocolate chip, mint chocolate chip, no, just chocolate chip. Yeah, mint chocolate chip's not that great. You're gonna eat the ice cream and give Snow quality review. You can get a review, but not a quality one. All your reviews are quality, especially on TikTok. Bro, mine are shit. Do not read your love you gets on TikTok. God, you gotta love TikTok. TikTok on join us noob. What the dog doing, though? That's my cat. Why is there a cherry on top? I don't have a cherry. I finished it. I guess the mic up and hop on. Who joined? I'll give you an out of 10 star. Thank you for joining the Discord. Thank you for sharing your content. Oh, Narish, hello. What are you up to, Narish? He's also streaming. I wonder if he knows we're watching him. He's currently mixing one of our new songs. Only one watching? That's so sad. Sounds fire though. Okay, anyways. Let's get back to the fuck, I'm so disoriented on this app. Okay, here we go. Rent a Girlfriend's the best rom-com. Mayhaps. Okay, we're back in action. Rent a Girlfriend's the best rom. I mean, I haven't watched it, but I mean, I'm sure there's definitely better than Rent a Girlfriend. Snafu, 8's good shit. Noragami, an 8. I mean, you know, I gave it like a 7, but a 1 point difference isn't worth discussing. Some One Piece films. Cringe, One Piece. Parasite the Maxim, something I've been meaning to watch for a long time. I was hyped when it came out, and then I just didn't ever watch it. Ping Pong I do want to watch. Real Life I also gave an 8. Good shit. Oh Lamau, you all good fam. That's the only romance I've seen. LOL, I love that. Josh's favorite anime is Steins Gate, fun fact. Am I right? I think I'm right. Terran Resonance I also gave an 8. Oh, I'm interested to know you gave Psyche K an 8 as well. Slightly more incentivized to watch now, but probably never will. Garden of Words we talked about. Promised Neverland I also gave an 8, so good for you. I mean, good on you. NHK Classic. Sugiyakiri I didn't really like. I don't know. It didn't do it for me, to be honest. I think I gave it like a 5. It was whatever. Your Name. Yeah, 8. It's good. Okay. Anohana only 7. What is it about Anohana that was holding it back from anything higher than a 7? I guess would be my question. I think for me, the ending it's one of those cases where it makes up for, I guess, any lower points during the series because of how much I love the ending. Again, one of the rare cases where like I cry a lot in anime, but this like made me like fucking sob and weep like extremely, and that's the shit that'll always get me really going. Peep the favorites tab. I have all of them in order. Yeah, that's definitely a good time. Good place to look. And as predicted, we have AOT Season 2 and Season 3 Part 2 on here. I've already mentioned this before. I like Season 2 more than 3 and 1 because I feel like this does a lot of good, not necessarily world building, but it does give us more insight into like the nature of the Titans, how they function and stuff. And that to me is the kind of stuff I'm interested in. So, well, yes, but conceptually it wasn't the most compelling considering she was already dead. I mean, that's fair, but unwinding the mystery, I guess, and slowly becoming aware of how she died was, I guess, part of the vibe for me. I mean, at least it was motivating enough to merit the score that I've given it, I think. It was a punch that way. I guess like conceptually makes sense, but again, the ending was just such a gut punch to me. That's that's not the right phrase there. The ending was just so like fucking awesome for me. Beastars I will never not make fun of and call the furry anime no matter how good it is. And I'm staying true to that. Bleach out of 7. I think that's a respectable score. Bloomin' to you. Very surprised. Great character flaws and nice development. Nothing's made a bigger deal than it needs to be. It just isn't relying on the fact that it's a Yuri to get people to continue watching. That's fair. Noob very much did not like Bloomin' to you and said that it was morally reprehensible. I don't think I'm using that word right. I don't even know if that's a fucking word. But I think that's a Noob issue by the looks of things. Other people that I've looked at so far have thought rather, if not highly, well of it, I'd say. Chip seemed to have a pretty good reception to it. Let's just look what the lads are saying. You know what I mean? Let's get a little rank ski. Also, I'm thinking I'm gonna get to the end of Snow Sevens, much like I did with Chip, and then in the next stream I'll finish it off. Simply because I need to wake up a little earlier tomorrow. 7, 0. Fucking 5, 7.5, 8.5, 7. Yeah. Fucking 0.5. Newbie booby. Oh fuck. Sorry. Gotta. There we go. We're back. Some more Code Geass shite. Dark and Black. Second season. I still gave the second season like a low 9 for me. I think nostalgia has a lot to do with that. I also just liked seeing Hay kind of washed up into the booze, you know, a little fuzz and stubble on the face, looking a little washed up. I don't know. I kind of liked seeing him in that state and kind of coming out of that slowly. But boy, reprehensible. It's a romance. How they didn't cross any lines that would strike me as reprehensible. You're in VC with Noob, aren't you? I mean, have that convo with him. I've never watched Bloom Into You, so I couldn't make the argument on his behalf, but I do believe he has said such things. Eden the East is one of my favorite anime of all time. I'm glad to see it on your list at all. I think you and Chip both gave it a 7, which I can respect. Ava 3.0, a 7. You liked it slightly less than 1 and 2. That's fair. 2 is definitely for my money the best of the rebuilds so far. I think Thrice Upon a Time could be a real banger, but we'll have to see. I guess I haven't seen it yet. Fruit basket. I've always liked you. I've always liked you too. It's been Yasha Schnaz, Jura, Namund, Kaiji Ultimate Survivor. Every time I tell people I like Kakiguri, they recommend me Kaiji. But I don't know. I personally get the sense that the connection between the two is simply based off the fact that they both involve gambling. I feel like this approaches much more serious themes and uses gambling as a mode to express those themes. I feel like Kakiguri is much more just like eye candy with, you know, I mean eye candy pretty much entirely. So I don't know if they're entirely comparable. But I mean maybe I'm wrong. But who knows? I certainly won't, because I'll never watch Kaiji. I have no idea what this is. Wait. What, didn't the Anime Man have this guy as like his profile picture for a long time or something? There's a big difference. Kaiji's good, Kakiguri's not. But I mean, like, you know, is there any relation between the two besides the fact that they both deal with like gambling? I feel like people recommend anime and they're like, you know, these both have the same like external setting, therefore you should watch the two, even though like they will both have like totally different motives and goals and intentions, and like just they'll be completely different anime. They just so happen to contingently have the same you know, setting or whatever, or mode to express their themes. I'm just trying to think of an example like that. I can't think of one right now, but I know there's so many. That's like saying we addressed this earlier. Like, you should watch Mushishi. Or if you like Mushishi, you should watch Kino's Journey, because they're both episodic. Like, that's such a shallow basis to make the recommendation, I find. Megalobox, are you ever going to get around to watching Season 2? People seem to really love Season 2. I think that just finished airing, didn't it? Oh, we have one of the Gotteries at a 7. Significant. I was under the impression you just gave them all 10. So that's kind of nice. Naruto, look at that. Respect at a 7. Likewise with Shippuden. Mirai, no Nikki. Big Sag. I'm sure that'll appear lower on the list. Film Z. Some more One Piece. Kind of cringe Nene Baby. One Punch Man, 7. It's probably fine, I guess. Outlaw Star, Plastic Memories. Rainbow Days, but Madoka Magica. I mean, there's not a whole lot to say on these. I've talked about most of these already. Plastic Memories is something I associate with New big time. And I think I'd probably enjoy. But I don't know if I'll ever even get around to watching it. Or the Ninja, Say I Love You. I love you. time I got reincarnated as a slime, God, I fucking hate isekai names. Tsundere Children, Vinland Saga, Voices from a Distant Star. I do like the OVA a lot, and it was quite a compelling story. The fact that Shinkai can produce this by himself is amazing. I have nothing to say but thank you. Yeah, Voices of Distant Star is chill. I think I also gave it a 7. What did I give it? 6.2, yeah. 6.4, yeah. Okay. Very negligible difference. I did enjoy the manga as well, though. Okay, gotta do a little tab reset. Welcome to the ballroom. Watakoi. I'm in the first volume of Watakoi. I like the first chapter. I'm like, I'm just simply not in the mood for this, and I put it back on my shelf. I think I'd probably enjoy it animated more, to be honest, than reading it, but I don't know, it's just a hunch. You go at a 7. Respect. This is the OG one. I mean, very OG one. I'd be curious to know where the other ones appear. I reckon not at a 7, but and that concludes the 7s, and I think that's where I'm gonna wrap up for now, just because I can already feel my throat getting sore, and like I said, I do need to wake up a little earlier in the morning. But we're off to a solid start. I can already tell your list is gonna become like as valuable to me as like Archangel Mangas is. I go to Archangel Mangas like MyAnimeList for his manga because he has a lot of like just obscure choices that are super fun. And I trust his judgment very well. I think I'm gonna do the same with you for specifically anime movies. I trust your judgment, and there's a lot of good shit on here that I think I need to watch, especially with the movies. But yeah, we'll continue this. Dare I say tomorrow? I'm kind of on a streak with the streams, so we'll see if I'm gonna do this tomorrow. If not, the day after. Because like I said, I normally have no reason to wake up early anymore. It's just tomorrow, like on Tuesdays. I help my mother with the flyers, man. Man's gotta get cash job. So yeah, that's taking care of it for tonight. Thank you guys for my most successful stream of all time. At my peak viewership, I was at fucking 20 viewers, and that was only for an instant. But that means a lot to me. I've never had that many before. Tonight, I think actually consistently, we were holding like 16, 17 for a while. That's like the biggest turnout I had, like on a stream. So I'm very happy about this, and I hope you all enjoyed this as well. I love doing these streams with you guys. I think we have such a fucking dope community here now. I feel like I could probably do more to be more active in the Discord, but like fuck, I feel like we come around, we come together in the streams. I like that a lot. But that's gonna conclude today's stream. I appreciate everyone for coming out. We're gonna continue probably tomorrow, or the next day. I could try to schedule it, but like I always do streams at the last minute. I'm like fuck it, gotta do all I know is I'm a beast. 4 things added on your plan to watch. Yeah, like I said, like okay, I will show you guys my plan to watch just to show you how scarcely I use them. I have 17 on my planning, or I have 21 now. All the Boruto shit that I haven't watched yet, which is like a given. Bleach, duh. Grenadier in the Darkness, because I want to watch. I mean, it's by the dude, or the woman rather, that did Elfen Lied. I'm just curious to see what else they've done. Thrice Upon a Time, duh. So this is one that I've now added because of Josh. This is about to air. Josh, about to air. And then again, just about to air / things that I do plan on very concretely watching. My manga is even more scarce, like for planning. 14. And the only things I have indexed here are the things that I physically own that I know I will read because I own them. Like I've invested money in these, so of course I'm gonna read them. But like that's it. Like I don't go on, browse manga and just like fucking try to find the most obscure shit and just start adding them to my planning list. If I do this, if I just try to like scan for some fucking, if I try to scan for, I don't know, some obscure shit. How would I even do that? I normally use Mal for this. My cat coming in again. Even if I was to do some shit like this, you know what I mean? And like just start scrolling down as far as I can go. I would click on it. I'm like, okay, this is probably interesting, and then I would just start reading it. I wouldn't add it to a list. Uh, just I don't know. I don't like adding shit to my plan like Josh said earlier. I don't like restricting myself to the watching. But that's gonna do it for me, folks. Thank you all for being such a kind and loving community, and look forward to the next stream. Oh god, these I forgot I'm wearing these glasses. And I just caught myself in the corner. I'm like, fuck, I am ugly. I am not wearing these glasses anymore. I'm shaving tomorrow. I'm doing my eyes in cosplay for the next stream. You can count on it. Love you all and good night.